What's up, world? It's your girl, Shirley Pearl, back with another video. And this video is for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 14. And the name of this episode is High and Dry. Okay? So everything I say is alleged and strictly my opinion. So if you can get with that, then you can get with this. Okay. So let's get into it. Let's just get into it because I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I know I'm late. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Okay. Here we go. So the episode basically starts with Angel wanting to clear up who is out here talking about she got evicted, since Gizelle and Ashley got so much to say about the situation. And ironically, Ashley and Gizelle on mute, keeping it cute. But guess who does have something to say? Just guess. Take a wild guess. Wendell. Okay, so Wendy says, I have a friend and she's a realtor, and she said that you wanted a place that looked like it was 14,000 a month, but you were only willing and able to pay 1,000 for it. So Angel basically laughs, ha ha. Well, my rich ass did pay 14,000 for the property that I was at. So, I hope you know this is what it is. Maybe that realtor is mad because I didn't work with her. I don't know, but that didn't happen. Okay? And I'm just going to say this. This is my 2 cents for this scene. Wendy, there are very strict rules for realtors. You can have your license revoked, revealing confidential information. So, this girl got a beautiful house in Colorado and won awards for the house. And you think that she can't afford something? All she can afford is $1,000? Girl, where can you even get a 1-bedroom for that? So that's why your ass is lying. So again, if that was the case from your realtor, I would have been like, what's her name? And I would be calling the board, because the realtors are governed by a board. Be like, this girl out here discussing, different things about me and my income or whatever. That is a no-no in the real estate world. So I'm just going to say you're lying, Wendy. Okay? And if this video ever finds its way to you, girl, just know that there are strict laws and rules against realtors revealing personal information. I don't give a damn if it is your friend. She would have to find her ass another occupation, because she would not be a realtor no more. But because you ain't even got to go that far, because we think your ass is lying. So that's all I got to say about that. So basically, Angel was like, yeah, I cleared that up. Let's have a mindful moment. And the ladies are looking like, I thought that was the mindful moment. She was like, no, I know you treat this bad energy about you hoes. Let's get out here on this deck with the spiritual lady, and y'all suck on this damn this fresh smell of lavender, and release some tension in your arms, back, and in your hands and everything. So the lady is basically sitting on mats, and there's this instructor, Bianca, and Wendy is in her confessional saying, why isn't Angel down here? Why is she just watching us? And it's like, girl, because she feel like her spirit is good. She trying to get the devils up out you hoes. That's what I think. But anyway, so basically Angel was saying, I want to state an intention for this trip. Let's go around the room and have everybody state an intention. So they basically said, you first. So she says her intention is to get to know all the ladies personally. And they show a montage of her saying that. And Stacy basically says that she tired of fighting with everybody. She wants to enjoy the ladies. And the main one that had something shady to say was Gizelle. Gizelle said that her intention is to have a room with a bathroom. And that was pretty much it. So basically, they go back in the house and Kiana is real loopy. She's talking about the oxygen, but I'm like, girl, why ain't nobody else like this? Why ain't nobody else all crying and giddy from the altitude? You sure it ain't no substances in that, altitude, girl? And it's just coming across as like, girl, she real loopy and need to go lay down or whatever. So Monique, Ashley, and Gizelle are talking about when they get back in the house, like, I don't want to be in a single. And they're trying to figure out if they're going to look for some better accommodations. So Giselle was like, when I did my trip to Nevis, it was beautiful. Everybody had their own room. They had bathrooms, but here's the thing, Giselle. This is her first season on the show. Y'all been hazing the hell out of her, talking about her weight, talking about she a catfish, her face, talking about little jabs at her husband, like whenever he called at your little boots and cowboy thing, and he was like, we'll get there when we get there. Y'all just acting like he's aggressive, like y'all do every man, because most of y'all hoes don't even have a man. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all don't have one that y'all can reveal on the show. And Ashley, I am not counting that little young boy that you basically told ain't got enough money to afford you. He just a plaything. So I'm talking about real serious relationships. So anyway, Monique winds up asking Angel, how many bedrooms do you have? And she was like, I have 6. And she's like, well, maybe Gizelle can stay there. Let me stop you there. Gizelle is not gonna be around my man. We already then established she is the head cheerleader and the mean one of the group. She not about to come over here and get some more ammo so she could come spreading. No, that's not gonna happen. So basically, Angel like, well, one of the rooms is her husband Bobby's like man cave. Then Tia and Kayana has a room. And I would imagine the other ones is like their main bedroom, maybe the kids' room or whatever. But bottom line is, baby, you not welcome there because you on bullshit and ain't nobody got time for it. So they driving back in the pickup and Angel's feeling away. And she's basically saying that they're jealous of her. I'm just gonna put it in a nutshell. They jealous, they living over there in a $1.6 million house. And I think it's a problem that they are so far from her. Like they like over an hour from her. And they're making it like, well, why are we not all together? Why are we not all together? But you just want more ammo for the show because she seems to be on the receiving end of all y'all bull crap. So, you know, uh, you know, she's just letting them know that they have elks, and if you see this mountain lion, it's already too late, and be careful because it's all type of things. So they pull up, gates open, looking all grand. It's raining. So her husband comes out with like a coat or a blanket and covers her into the house. The other ladies, they fending for themselves. Tia got on like a cowboy hat, but Miss Loopy, she makes her way in. So they come in and they're like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is grand, and her house is nice. It's very nice. It's well decorated, real beautiful property. So the first room they show is Kiana. She got like a little welcome gift on there with her initials on a bag. She has a bathroom. And then they show Tia's. Her room is nice also. She has a bathroom, has a little welcome gift on the bag. So the producers asked, what do you think about staying at Angel's house? And Tia's like, in her confessional, they just told me where to be and that's where I'm at. But, you know Tia gonna go and give a whole rundown to Gizelle because she came in off Gizelle. And if you notice, she ain't been hazed this season. So then we pan back to the house, and the lady still complaining about the little Airbnb rental. Gizelle is talking about she poops twice a day, Ashley like 3 times. It's just a problem not having a bathroom. And Wendy, she talking about this is the worst trip ever, the number one worst trip ever. Wendy, what trips have you hosted? You know, somebody please leave a comment and let me know what trips have she hosted. So, you know, it's just I remember her like the thing for her daughter. I don't know if it was like a sip and see, but in the African terms. And that's all I remember, where they was throwing money and everything. She should have been gathering that money and she wouldn't be in the predicament she in today. But it was just singles I seen. So anyway, they, you know, the ladies just unhappy. They unhappy. They like, you know, they wanted to have like some type of pajama party there and really kick it. And, you know, she all somewhere else. So we ain't gonna beat a dead horse on it. So it's the next day and they on their way to Angel's house. So they get to Angel's house and the ladies is on and on. They really like it. They ain't got nothing bad to say. Ashley brings her some crystals and she, as like a welcome gift to the house or whatever. And she was like, "Oh, what you don't know is I collect crystals, baby. If Ashley was given that crystal would have been in the damn garbage, girl. I don't want none of your bad juju, boo boo." You know. So they come in when they come in, they still on and on. She got a guy playing the violin. She has a bar. She has an oxygen bar because of the, you know, high altitude with different flavors. You know, they on and on. They looking for something to say. They looking to be like, girl, but your baseboards ain't matching something. They can't find nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? And she's really trying to cater to them, you know. So Gizelle is basically saying, well, yeah, you got some making up to do, you know. So they go back on the porch or whatever. I don't know if this the front or the back of the house. So Wendy hugs Bobby and was like, hey, thank you for inviting us to your home. So Monique also hugs him and was like, my name is Monique Samuels. I used to talk to you on the phone a lot. And he was like, oh yeah, high school. So what I'm trying to figure out is I know Angel said she was 38. You know, this aired last year, so she might be 39. So I don't know if he's younger or whatever, but if he's her age, then like 38. High school was 20 years ago, and I didn't know that Monique was with Chris 20 years ago. You know, I thought that the relationship was like from college. So she basically walks them over to these guys that are friends of her husband and her. And they got these grandiose titles, CEO, vice president, whatever, whatever. You know, they sound real important. So one of the guys named Ben, looking like JB Smooth from the damn Crown Royal commercials, flavor vanilla. Um, he's smoking a cigar with some glasses on, and the girls is looking like I don't know if it was editing, but the guys they just I don't see nobody get up, shake hands, how you doing, back, nothing. Like the very last guy like threw up his hand. She was like, "This is such and such husband." He threw up his hand, but to me, it's looking like they heard some shit about y'all and they can't feel it. They ain't feeling y'all. And I'm like that. I do not have a poker face. I wish I did. I would be so far in life, but I kind of reveal how I'm feeling on my face. And I reveal how I feel about you on my face. If I feel a way that is unfavorable, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't need no misinterpretations about who I don't fuck with. So he probably was telling them like, these bitches been coming for my wife, acting like she ain't, you know, who she is, calling her catfish. She calling me crying and shit. And I love that because That's how I am as a spouse. That's how my husband is. You can't hurt me and expect to be embraced by one of us. You can't. I remember my husband, and he gonna be mad if he listened to this, but got in trouble at work. I was about to be in the parking lot waiting on HR in a rental and follow her and bump her car and let her get out and do what I had to do. I'm just kidding. Not really. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? These women don't know no relationship like that. When you just go hard, when you will lose it all and just get it right back for a person. And that's just unfortunate. I think he down with his wife and he don't want to see nobody talking about her and making her feel away, and he can't do nothing. He can't whoop him. You know, he a man. He a big man. So they sit down to eat. The food looks really good. I love salmon, and I just kept rewinding back to the salmon part because it's healthy, it's good for you, everything. So they sitting down, macaroni and cheese, everything. The chef got it coming, looking good. So Gizelle lets her know that they don't have water, that the water is intermittent. And Angel's like, oh my God, I didn't know. You know, basically, I'm going to call the owners and get this rectified. And she's like, basically, nobody should be without water, even Ashley and Gizelle. And, you know, so she gonna handle that. I mean, you know, it's up in the mountains. They use a well. I don't know, but you know, they was glad to have something to say negative about the house, and also with it being so far away, you know. And she letting them know, girl, this the busy season out here. This was the best I could do for all of y'all. You know, it's this amount of y'all, and you know, I thought it was nice. So they get off an Angel for a second to get right back on Stacy, you know, the star of the show. And Gizelle basically says, you know, I had y'all together in a sack race at my little event. How are y'all doing? So Stacy starts and she was like, well, you know, I really liked Tia. I thought she was level-headed, good-hearted. You know, I introduced her to my family. Then all of a sudden you jumped on the hate Stacy train so quick. And she was just like looking perplexed. So basically, Tia says, well, everything everybody said about you turned out to be true. You're a liar. And just like Chris, you said you didn't know that man. Turns out you do know him. So they do a flashback, and Tia, you're going to have to take it on the chin. But she did not say she didn't know Chris. She said she knows him socially. You know what I'm saying? So even Stacy is like, they can run the tape back. You know, she breaking the third wall and shit. But Stacy's point to all of that is like, why do you care so much about this Chris situation? If the people at this table, which people being Monique, who it affects, don't care, why do you care? And Tia comes back, it's because you irritate my soul. And they acting like she really got her one. Like, we gonna be using that all in, oh, you irritate my soul, baby. It wasn't that great. So, you know, of course they take it off Angel to get some effect between the other two girls that's beefing. You know, that's what Gizelle does. She directs the show. You know what I'm saying? So after she tells her, you irritate my spirit, Stacy's like, well, keep it over there, you know. So she lets Monique know, you'll find out who she is for sure. And Monique is like, I asked her, you know, did she go butcher the story of our private conversation? And Stacy said no. And Stacy basically says, it was more than me at that table. And Monique says, that's fair. You know, that's fair. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't think it's Stacy. I don't. I think she is the easy one to put it on because, you know, they showed a picture with her and Chris. Ashley came with the story that She was asking about him, I guess, before Timo. And I just think they trying to put it on her because they see her as the weakest link, or really don't have nobody. And that's just the mean girl thing that women do. They try to click up a whole bunch of hater hoes with the same type of hating mentality, and they go against, like, usually the pretty cute, popular, getting more attention girl. You know what I'm saying? So even Gizelle drops in talking about, first she said no, but then she admits she does. So it's just over and done with. We don't want to hear about Chris. But Monique is like, well, the fact that somebody went back, butchering the story, I'm getting letters from his lawyer talking about defamation, you know. And I mean, he just bitter, mama. He looking for anything. As a matter of fact, he probably the one, if she wouldn't have reached out, if that's the case, he would have been reaching out because, I mean, she looked like his type, small boobs, like you. So they get to sitting around the bonfire, and Kiana was like, I think we should do a pajama party. And Monique was like, I was saying that at the house. We should do a pajama party. So whenever Angel gets back, they actually asked her. They was like, we're thinking about doing a pajama party. And girl, Monique is like, she tells Monique, well, I have to check with my husband. Like, girl, he's a father. He got the kids. He all right. She put her hand up like, girl, don't go there. Don't go there with my man. Okay. So basically, she winds up talking to her husband. She was like, they are having a pajama party. I was expecting to do daytime activities with them and then come home at night. So her husband is like, do you want to go? She was like, no. So in her confessional, she says she's still a breastfeeding mother. So I would think, even if you wasn't breastfeeding, you just ain't feeling them, lady. You got to take them in small doses, and you can get back home to your comfort zone, which is your husband and your kids. So, yeah. And another thing that I forgot to mention is that she has an activity planned for the next day, which is going to Aspen and then going to Kimosabi, which is where the stars and everything hang out. And they're going to be on a private jet. So she really tried to impress these ladies. I think it doesn't give broke to me. It gives, she got it like that. So after everything, they wind up, it's like 7:30, and she was like, okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. So Wendy black ass talking about, and not just because she dark skinned, just because, I mean, I'll be like Gizelle black ass. They all black. But Wendy is like, oh, we about to go? It's only 7:30. Ain't no after party, no snack, no girl, get your ass in the car and get on the hell back up there before mid, the sun drop and y'all can't see, which is exactly what happened. So they riding home. The road black as hell, ain't no street lights or whatever. It's looking like Jason, Freddie, somebody gonna jump out. Please let the van not break down, because that'll just be more ammo for them. And like Angel, then she ain't driving it, but they looking for something. So after all of that, they make it home, and it ain't no running water. The water back not working. It's back not working. So they pissed. So So I guess at some point, they was YouTubing how to fix the water and different things like that. They couldn't get the water fixed. So I guess in the morning the chef came and the chef knew how to get the water, which makes sense because if you cooking, you're gonna need some water. So Monique is downstairs eating breakfast. Ashley comes down, and they was like, the only room that had water was Stacy. Then it was trickling, and Monique lets it be known that it was 90 in her room, that her face was swollen from the heat. So when the head honcho Gizelle come down, she over it. She like, this right here It's some foolishness. She don't want to be there. She ready to go. She was like, I'm about to find y'all some more we about to find some other accommodations. So Stacy is like, we're trying to be positive, but it's been a rough morning. And she's like, this is a scary movie. And we all may get murdered. And you know who's going to get murdered first? The pretty nice girl. That's what a way to pat yourself on the back, Stacy. Okay. The pretty nice girl. Basically, she was talking about herself. So Jazzy is upstairs, and Gizelle yells up there, we about to find something else. And Jazzy like, let me get my bag packed. So again, they didn't show on this episode them going to another place, but you know, it's in the works. So it pans over to Angel's house, and I believe her husband is cooking breakfast. They got hash browns, bacon, everything probably air, everybody face beat, looking good. And Angel says that she finds out that the water pressure was messed up. And how she found out is she called Jazzy to see how everything was going. And Jazzy told her. But she also told her that Monique was trying to compare her divorced relationship to hers by saying that she does everything and she has to ask him, can she do the pajama party? Like making it like something going on with Bobby that's similar to what she went to with Chris Samuels. And that's unfair, Monique. That's unfair because in your book and this press run you on, you said that he abused you physically. So for you to put that, it's like you're projecting, honey, and that's not gonna end well for you because they already told you she protective about her husband. And I just think y'all ain't used to people being down with y'all, like down ready. Like if he could put on his a dress and some heels, he'll fight y'all. But y'all ain't used to that. Y'all used to, like in your situation, Chris, like you said on this episode when you came in, you was like, you know, if he didn't get sex, he was mad and he would act a certain way. Then after he got sex, he would be nice or whatever. That sounds like the basis of your relationship. And it ain't no indications of that with Angel. So you wrong for that shit, Monique. And yeah, I just glossed over it because it was on a car ride there with you talking about, yeah, and this, that, and this, that, and the other. Don't do it, Monique. Don't be a Gizelle mean girl and stay up out of people relationships. I feel like Chris wanted you. You fit every thing that he wanted in a wag, but you ain't. It wasn't based on nothing but probably sex and your good looks, baby. And you cannot put that over on her. You know what I'm saying? Because her husband loved her, all BBW and all. And so just don't be mad, boo. Don't be mad. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense, girl. And it ain't gonna end well for you. And at the reunion, I hope he be sitting behind her. He probably don't even want her to do the damn show again. So Jazzy is the bone collector. And you know, I guess on the next episode, we'll see if her and Monique gonna have a conversation about it because she's aware of it. So it's the next day, and they all riding to, I guess, get on the private jet. And she in the car with Tia and Kiana, and she was like, she gonna crash out. Cause you know, you're gonna have to back up off me and my man. You know, y'all miserable. And that's her take on it. So we'll see. But all in all, it was an all right episode. You know, I think the fireworks gonna come in the next one, but I wanted to get something to y'all. And yeah, so that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever, leave a comment, and I will see you next week for another video.